Godfrey Bokwing is an economist and senior lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School. He's joining us for a conversation on this subject. Thank you, Prof, for joining us. So that's the conversation that's been going on as we speak. Governments can seek assistance from the International Monetary Fund to attempt to revive the ailing economy. Beyond that, some have also raised concerns about the continuous expenditure costs that the government incurs. Because if you're not raising enough revenue, you're expending more of the scarce resources that are available, then clearly you'll be in distress.
All right, thank you very much, and good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to your cherished listeners and viewers. Thank you for this opportunity. Yeah, so, yes, I do agree. Largely, we all do agree that our revenue generation effort is below par. And there's a need to raise more revenue. I also do agree that expenditure is very high. We need to do something about expenditure, but there's a limit to how much cuts you can do. We all do agree, because if you look at the proportion of the revenue that earmark funds, compensation, interest payment, those ones you may not be able to do much about them. But we can look at which other areas that government can cut as a signal to the market that we are doing something about the expenditure activities, the fiscal space, in order to give greater assurance to investors. But not only to investors, the economy does not only exist to please foreign investors. There's much more to the economy than just pleasing foreign investors. We have local investors, we have contractors, we have workers, we have civil servants, we have the private sector that you need to create the enabling environment for, and all of that. So you want to look at all of this politically. But this is Ghana's problem. Once we complain that we are not generating a lot of revenue, evidence exists that Ghana loses as much as we are able to collect by way of tax revenue. So our tax effort is like 12.6%, or let's say approximately 13% of GDP. But you know what? We are losing as much as we are able to collect through revenue leakages, connivance with near officials, and all of that in this country, exemptions, so many things. So if we are able to block those leakages, even half of that, there will be no need for E-Levy. And if we are prudent with our expenditure and pursue greater efficiency in our investment, public investment management process, there will be no need to even bring IMF into the picture. Look, anytime you call on the IMF, it's a sign of failure, and it's an indictment on us that we are incapable of managing our affairs to the extent that since Ghana officially joined the IMF September 20th, 1957, we have been to the IMF 15 times, and we are considering our 17th program. This is unfortunate. But you see, the best helping hand we can find is not at the end of the arm of the IMF. If we fail to do what we have to do, then going to the IMF is a long-term solution to Ghana's problem. Don't forget, we just exited an IMF program December 2018. Don't also get me wrong. I'm not saying that going to the IMF is wrong or I'm against that. But the question that I'm asking is that, how did we get here? Look, even if we went to the IMF and they gave us $2 billion, which I'll be surprised if we get far more than that, actually, that will not be the solution sustainably. We can achieve some short-term macroeconomic stability and all of that, but that is not an end in itself. Look, I'll give you an example. The numerous programs that we've had with the IMF, the gains have been short-term. And that is why, since Ghana joined the IMF, practically every 3.5 years, we've had to go to the IMF. But you see, this is a failure on our part as a country, as a republic that we claim we gain independence. But it can be done. Because if we went to the IMF, the bulk of the things that IMF would do, they will require us to do it. Government need to signal, look, we don't need over 100 ministers. This is the time to take that bold decision, right? Let's cut that size. We don't need 275 MPs in parliament. Maybe they need more space to fight well, right? But we don't need that number. Look, in this country, we must determine the size of government that the economy can support.
All right. Thank you very much, Professor Godfrey Bokwing. I'm afraid we've run out of time. He is an economist, also a senior lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, helping us understand these economic issues.